I want that to be my job. Just come up with puns for everything. That'd be cool.
Alrighty. So last week we talked a little bit about what was modesty. So how about you guys talk about 6 types of modesty and how to be modest in your everyday. So what did we talk about? We defined it, but then didn't we talk about the first couple at least?
Yeah, sum it up. What's modesty, basically?
So modesty is basically not being raunchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good word. Okay, so what was the first one? We talked about this already. Don't be raunchy in what?
The way you dress.
Mm-hmm. How are you raunchy in the way you dress?
I think just like wearing or making other people feel uncomfortable with how you look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, that's good. We covered that last time. So how about what's the second one that you came up with?
The second one we came up with was not being raunchy in the pictures we take or on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? What's the big deal?
What stays on the internet, what goes on the internet stays on the internet.
True.
You can never get it off.
Well, I think, too, like what you said, like employers, I know, they look at it. That's like the first thing they'll look at. They'll Google your name and see what comes up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want no body image shot coming up.
All right, what's another one? You came up with 6. What's another one?
Be modest in the way you talk, like your speech.
Mm-hmm.
So like not talking bad about other people or yourself even.
Or like swearing.
Mm-hmm.
Goes into that too. Because every other word is,
Curse word.
Yeah.
Who's more raunchy in their speech, girls or guys?
That's hard.
Really?
Really?
I would say guys.
Well, I mean, I think guys talk
But-
about more vulgar situations,
Yeah,
but girls
swearing.
definitely talk
Yeah.
Gossip.
anyways. Yeah.
Gossip. Yeah, gossip girls.
Can gossip be raunchy?
Yeah.
It ruins friendships and relationships with other people. And if there's a rumor that's been spread around and it gets back to that person, then it crushes them. And they now are very hurt by it.
Yeah. But even if I just hear someone gossiping about someone, it makes me lose a little bit respect, just that they don't respect themselves or their friends enough to keep their thoughts to themselves, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And if it's like someone spreading a secret around, then you know that you can't trust them. Even if it's just one time, which is kind of sad.
In raunchy.
And I know a lot of the time gossiping isn't even true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's the fourth type of modesty?
Modesty in who you hang out with, who you're around, and what type of people you put in your lives.
I think,
Social circle.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the biggest factors that plays into who you are as a person is who you surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you surround yourself with people who dressed immodest or raunchy or people who are raunchy in their speech, how can you not be like that, too?
Mm-hmm. It affects how you act.
And not even that. I know a lot of people who don't even know you will see who your friends are, and they'll base that on who you are.
They'll assume.
Yep. That's your image. It's what you put forward.
All right, what's the fifth type of modesty you came up with?
So, modesty in dating was the fifth one we came up with. Just in PDA or even boundaries, like what you decide you want to do and what you not want to do, and trying to not be raunchy with that.
Because you see everyone all making out in the corner, and it's like, whoa, that's a little too much there.
So some couples can be raunchy in public even?
Oh, definitely.
And I mean, yeah, even when it's in private, like, if you don't respect that person's boundaries, then you're not being modest in your relationships.
Valid point.
Do you think most girls think about boundaries when they think about dating?
No. No,
I think
I don't-
it's just like they're trying to what's the word? Please the guy that they're in the relationship with.
And keep them.
Yeah, keep them.
yeah.
Yeah, they definitely only think about it as like a now moment. Like, he's not going to want to do this, but then you think about it in the long run, and I'm like, I'm going to have to do these things to keep him around.
Who's raunchier with the way they think in dating, guys or girls?
I would say guys.
Yeah, me too.
So girls can kind of just be taken into that sometimes.
Yeah, I think girls are more worried about the feelings, but guys are more worried about like
That.
what you're
The
getting out of
physical
it. Yeah, the
attractions.
physical.
So they're the ones that are more pushing the boundaries than the girls.
Yeah.
All right, what's the last kind of modesty you came up with?
Modesty in your attitude.
What's that mean? What does that look like?
Being a good example to peers and even younger people.
I think it's just being a good example is just having enough confidence in yourself to know that you don't have to dress a certain way or act a certain way or be a certain way with your boyfriend to make them like you.
You can just be yourself.
Yeah.
And with the things you post on social media, like it doesn't even have to be pictures, just the things you say.
Yeah. And that kind of goes in with how you talk, your speech.
So basically, just don't be raunchy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Hashtag don't be raunchy.